So today in this video we will be talking about the artificial intelligence in the healthcare. So let's begin the today's video. So what is artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence is the machine that learns the pattern, make the decision and perform the task, which normally requires the human intelligence. The important word here is the pattern. Artificial intelligence recognize the patterns. And you know what? Our medical field is full of pattern. Like we have the ECGs, we have the EEG, we have the CT scans, we have the lab reports. All of these are the based on the patterns, whether it is normal or abnormal. All of these are the based on the patterns. So today's video we will be talking about the artificial intelligence revolution. Then we will talk about the how the AI works. Then the core of the video, which is the AI in clinical setting. And lastly, we will talk about the limitations, ethics, and some reality checks, like where the AI stands in today's time. Let me talk about the AI revolution. So we have been hearing word AI since 2 or 3 years, but AI is not new. Since 1990s, the AI existed, but because of the invention of the capable computer system in 2010, we first started using we first started using the deep learning. Then in 2015, the AI entered into the medical imaging, which means now AI can read your chest x-rays, your CT scans. In 2020, AI reached to the hospital and started helping in clinical diagnosis. In 2023, our famous Google Gemini and Google ChatGPT came into the existence, which are basically the large language model. In 2024 to 25, which means in current time, now we are talking about the brain-computer interface, which is currently developing by the Neuralink company. Founder of this company is the Elon Musk. So what they are doing is they are fitting this AI operated chips in connection with this human brain, and what they can do is they can project your thoughts, your ideas to the computers. Not only it can project your ideas, but manage it can it can manage the computers according to your thoughts. So if I want to talk about the how the artificial intelligence work, so right now what you are looking at, this picture is known as artificial neural network, ANN. ANN means artificial neural networks. Now in these pictures, these red things is known as nodes. These are known as nodes. Now nodes are the equivalent to the our human neurons. What our humans neurons are doing, our new so this is our human neurons. Neurons are doing, they are transmitting the electrical information to the other neurons. But here these nodes are doing the exact thing, but these nodes are doing the mathematical calculation. Okay, now our neurons is connected to the other neuron via this junction is known as synapse. So here the one node is connected to other nodes via this junction. Now this junction here is known as weights, is known as weights. Now let me tell you, these weights are not a physical connection, but it is a mathematical gradient, like how strong one node is influencing the other node. So this is the weight. Now in our human body, you know that we have the sensory system, which receives the input, which receives the information from the environment. It not only receives, but it converts this information into the electrical impulse and gives it to the central nervous system, where the data processing happens. As the data processing occurs, now we finally generated our output, and this output will be carried out by our motor system. So we have the sensory input system, we have the middle central nervous system, and we have the our output layer, which is our motor system. Similarly, in an artificial neural network, we have this initial layer, which is known as input layer, which receives the data. Then we have this middle layer, which is the hidden, or we can say middle layer, which basically do the complex pattern recognition, pattern calculation. And then we have lastly this output layer. This output layer basically predict the result. It will give us the result based on the pattern prediction, pattern recognition, or pattern analysis done by the hidden or the middle layer. Okay, once you get this, let me give you an example that how we train the AI. Okay, so let's say I want to train this particular AI model in recognizing the dog picture. Okay, so I feed this AI model with the picture of, okay, this I think will be the picture of dog. Okay, yes, so we feed this AI model with the picture of dog. So what this input layer will do, now this input layer convert this image into the pixel form and it will give it to the hidden layer or the middle layer. Okay, now all the pattern analysis happens in the middle layer and then we will get the output. Let's say we get the output that it is a cat. So once we get that output, we will mark it as a wrong output or we can mark it as a negative. Now what really happens is when we mark the output as a wrong output, AI will take it as an error. AI will take it as an error. Now this error is again feed back into this input layer. What is happening here is the output layer which is generating a result is considered as an error, and this error is now again fed back into this input layer. This process is known as back propagation. Is known as back propagation. So after the back propagation happens, the AI will rerun the pattern analysis, or we can say rerun the calculation. But this time, what the AI will do, it will strengthen the sum of the weight. Sum of the weight will become stronger between the nodes. Okay, and some of the weight will become weak. Okay, some of the weight will become weak, some of the weight will become stronger, and it will again give us the it will again try to give us the some more accurate result. Okay, so again if we get the result and we mark it as a wrong, the back propagation again happens and it will now again readjust the sum of the weight and it will give us the result, which means AI will continuously adjusting its weight until it matches the user, so we can say until it matches the desired result. So what you can see here is it is the same thing as in the human, like when we learn something in the human brain, when we learn something, what happens, our synapses become strong. What we call it a long term potentiation. And we forgot something, yeah, or we do not revise something, we forgot something, what really happening is we our synapses becoming weak, and it is known as long term depression. It is known as long term depression. So similarly, as our human synapse is getting strong and weak, similarly here the weight of the AI will becoming strong and the weak as AI learns something. Once this AI, like we want to train that AI to recognize the dog picture. Once this AI fully recognize the dog picture, or we can say once this AI started giving us the right answer, we stop the training and we will publish this AI to the users, or we can say we will this AI to the public usage. Now important thing is the once we stop the training, all the weight in the AI will be stabilized. Now there won't be any change in the weight, and AI will give the result based weight, or we can say based on the adjusted weight. But this thing is different from the human brain. We have seen that our synapses are also getting strong and weak, which is known as synaptic plasticity. Is known as synaptic plasticity. But our synaptic plasticity is dynamic, which means throughout the life our synapses are getting, some of the synapses are become weak. But unlike the AI, in which the weight adjustment will be static once the training is stopped, but in humans brain the synaptic plasticity is the dynamic. So this brings us to the next thing, which is the brain versus artificial intelligence. Like what is the real difference between the human brain and the artificial intelligence? So what we have seen is the structure first. So as we know, our human brain is made up of biological neurons and the synapses, while the artificial intelligence is nodes and the weighted connections between the nodes. If we talk about the learning, our learning is experience based and we have the concept of synaptic plasticity, while the learning in the AI is the data driven. We feed some data and we mark the data whether it is wrong or right. When AI gives us the result, we will mark the result that whether it is right or wrong. So learning of the AI is the data driven, and in the AI we have something called as weight adjustment, which we have just seen. Processing, if we talk about the processing, our human brain have the electrochemical processing, while the artificial intelligence has the mathematical processing. The interesting thing is the energy use. our human brain works on the very low energy, like approx around 20 watts, while the artificial intelligence, the AI machines, needs the thousands and hundreds and thousand watts of the energy. If we talk about our memory is contextual and dynamic, while the memory of the AI is the numerical and static memory. Training data, it is the important thing. Training data, we need very less data to train, while if we talk about the AI, it needs the massive data to train. What I mean by this is, if I show 2 or 3 images of dog to any small child, now he or she can recognize any dog in her life or in his life. But if I want to train AI to recognize a one picture of dog, I will have to give him, or I will need to train the AI with the thousands and thousand images of dog. So what you are seeing in the human is, we have the concept of generalization. What I mean by generalization is, we can generalize our knowledge, which is required by, which is gained by the small data, and we can generalize it into the larger number of population, or we can apply this knowledge into the larger scale. So what is known as is the generalization, but this generalization is not present in the artificial intelligence. So finally, if we talk about the strength and the weaknesses of the both human brain and the AI, our strength is, we have the creativity, we have the emotions, and we have the generalizability or the capacity of generalization, which all things are lacking in the AI, which becomes the weakness of the AI. If we talk about the our weakness is the fatigue. We can get fatigue. We can have the bias. We will have the very limited data handling capacity. We cannot handle the large amount of data. But this becomes the strength of the AI, which means AI has the speed, it has the accuracy, it has the speed and accuracy in pattern detection with no fatigue. AI cannot be fatigued. So what you can see is, see here is the, their strength and weaknesses are the complementary to each other. So the concept here is, I want to highlight is that, instead of using artificial intelligence only, we should use the artificial intelligence with the human brain, and that should be known as augmented intelligence. Hope I can clear some of the concept about the AI. In next video, we will be discussing the AI in clinical setting. Hope you like this video. If you like this, please give it a like. Thank you.